Welcome back. We go to Diepsloot now, where some residents are unhappy that 3 of their community leaders are spending more time or more nights in jail. The trio is expected to appear again at the Randburg magistrate's court today. They were arrested for alleged public violence in the northern Johannesburg suburb last week, and the state is expected to oppose bail. And to give us more insight, eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu is on the ground. Good morning to you, Manqoba. Thanks so much for joining us. At least at this stage, it seems like there's a bit of calm and order in the area. Nonetheless, community members not happy that their leaders would spend more time in jail. What's more more updates on that story?
Certainly. In fact, we know that there was a community meeting that took place yesterday where some of the leaders had met to decide what's going to happen today. Of course, we're expecting quite a number of Diepsloot residents to come here to court this morning in support of the 3 leaders that will be making their second appearance here in court. The matter was postponed on Monday, and this is after the state had indicated that it wants to verify the addresses of the accused, but also to compile a profile of these accused. It had indicated that it might need perhaps a week to complete what it had intended to do, but the magistrate stepping in and saying that this would really be an infringement on the rights of the accused to be released on bail if this matter was to drag even longer. So it was postponed to Wednesday to essentially allow the state to complete those different tasks that it had intended to complete. But also what it did indicate is that in its opposition to bail, it also wanted to compile statements from some of the residents of Diepsloot, the businesses that were intimidated allegedly by these protesters. It indicated that there will be additional charges that will be added as far as this case is concerned, and those are charges of intimidation as well as malicious damage to private property and malicious damage to essential infrastructure. So there seems to be that there will be more charges that are added as far as this case is concerned. He had asked for more time also to gather statements as far as that is concerned. But the magistrate did indicate that the bail hearing itself is likely not to take place at a similar court. It might be moved to court 2 where it might be heard. And so we're expecting to see quite a number of residents here this morning, of course, coming with a keen interest. They have insisted that they believe that this case is politically motivated and that they want their leaders to be released. They're saying that they also want President Cyril Ramaphosa to come to the area. Yesterday we spoke to some of the residents who were saying that they're quite disappointed at the turn of events, that it seems that the leaders of this particular protest were targeted and that this was really just an effort by government to try and frustrate and silence their cries for crime to end in that community. So they're certainly not backing down as far as their cry for an end to crime is concerned. They're saying that they will continue with their fight, and of course they're hoping that their leaders will be given bail today. They're saying that should they not be given bail, they'll then take the next step or a decision as to what's going to happen as far as that protest is concerned.
Manqoba, I think that is the dilemma, in that while we understand the right for protesters or communities to demonstrate, to express their frustration, in this case the high levels of crime, lack of service delivery in that particular area, there's also the responsibility that you cannot go on a rampage and vandalize property or intimidate those who are not part of that protest. So it's going to be a difficult one would imagine, where the protest leaders or community leaders would expect to get off because they may feel they have a justified, legitimate reason to protest.
Certainly, Cindy. In fact, this is what the NPA says as far as the charges are concerned. I did ask them on Monday as to the assertions of some of the community leaders that this, in fact, is politically motivated. And what the state did indicate is that they are facing serious charges. When it comes to malicious damage to property, these are serious charges that they're facing. And exactly that point, Cindy, that, in protest, even if the protest or the cause of that particular protest is a just one, it doesn't give, permission for those that are part of that protest to then engage in acts that seemingly break the law. And this is what the state is saying these three leaders did when they partook in that strike, that there was intimidation, there was malicious damage to property, and this is the reason why it then decided to add those particular charges. Of course, the onus will then be on the state to show that these accused should not be released on bail, and it still will become clear whether they intend to call any of the witnesses, whether they'll be calling the investigating officer to testify during the bail hearing. But the state saying that they're facing quite serious charges and that they are going to oppose bail when this matter does resume today.